Hello, welcome to Buzz Talks. I am Anisha Brahma from Buzz Magazine, and joining us today is author and poet Sanhita Barua. Hi, Sanhita.
Hello. So
First of,
excited to talk to you.
first of all, we've known each other for a very long time, and I think we've been watching the other person literally grow on social media because 2012, say if I'm not wrong, we've known each other 2012-13. And congratulations on publishing your third poetry book. I have the first one right here.
Thank you. This is the recent book that I published. It's called The Art of Healing, and I published in November 2020.
Yes, I'm so sorry because we are doing Buzz's interview. He likes to come and check in on it because he's the CCO of Buzz.
Oh, hello.
Hey, hello. I'm the Chief Cuddle Officer. Yeah.
Chief Cuddle Officer.
Nilesh
Nice.
actually came up with that CCO, Chief Cuddle Officer, and it's amazing. See, the minute he heard Buzz, he came from the other room. Sir, if you don't mind, may I?
Take responsibility seriously.
So the first thing I want to know is tell me how your ideas come to you because I've been following all your IG posts and I constantly think to myself this: how does anybody weave words together the way you do?
Okay, thank you so much. So now I've been writing from a very early age. To be precise, I think around the age of 10, I have been writing, doing creative writing. So most of my posts on Instagram are about art poems or some thoughts that I like to mention, and mostly it's fleeting. It's like I'm doing something and then suddenly a thought comes and then I quickly jot it down, and then I post it almost immediately most of the time, but sometimes I just wait till the right time I get some space to post it. So I would say it's fleeting thoughts, anytime, anywhere. Big idea comes and you have to write it. There's no other way.
So I just said writers are always writing a story in their head, and I can feel stories run around in mine. What about you?
I would totally agree to that. Actually, it's always some correlation that we are doing, finding metaphors in normal life situations, and also imagining, like our imagination always runs wild. So yes, almost all the time a writer is never off duty, no
True.
matter where he is or she is.
So one thing I really do love about being a writer is any situation. I never regret situations no matter how bad they get because you can always get a story out of it. Like
And
this
that's
right
really
here.
positive that's a really positive outlook. I would like to believe situations always get better. But yeah, makes sense.
I know that you've been working on your own story as well. And if you had to choose between writing stories or writing poetry, which one would you pick?
See, it's the same thing, poems
Which
come
one do you
easy to
like
me
working
because
on?
I've been. Sorry?
Rather than saying that which one would you pick because it's impossible to pick a genre because writer, poet, writing at the end of the day, I would rather ask you that which one do you like working on more, the story or the poem?
Oh, I like working on the novel that I'm working on more because it challenges me. It is hard work, and poems come quite naturally to me. Poems give me that enjoyment and happiness while telling the story. It makes me more disciplined when I have to sit on the laptop at least for half an hour or 45 minutes to write. So both serves different purpose in my life. So yes, when it comes to instant gratification, poems are it. But when it comes to this sense of writing, then it's my story.
Nice. So you have decided to self-publish your books primarily, right? The poetry ones. And
Yes.
because we've spoken about it and the publisher had originally not agreed to your changes. So in hindsight, do you think that was a good decision?
Oh, I'm actually very happy with my decision of self-publishing. There are a few reasons because, see, I already work a full-time job. So my writing is something that gives me happiness. So I didn't want to change it for the world. Poems are so emotional in nature, so deep connections I feel to all the poems that I've written, I wouldn't want to change it for anybody. So yes, there were publishers who asked, who wanted to publish it, but they wanted some changes, and I didn't want to go for it. In fact, I didn't want to make any change. It was just something I did for myself, and I just wanted the world to read it. And I just hope that let somebody who really wants to read it and need it find it. Thankfully, in hindsight, it has worked out wonderfully for me. Self-publishing gives you more royalty. It
Mhm.
gives you a clarity of the sales figures. Like, you'd be happy to know every morning that I wake up, the first email that I get is from my publishers telling me exactly how many copies I sold yesterday. What is more rewarding than any? There is nothing more rewarding than that when it comes to sales. You don't get that in traditional publishing because we have been part of books, and I have seen that before. I'm not saying that you don't go for traditional publishing, but when your objectives are clear, self-publishing does help you. You don't have to go through that loop of back and forth changes, editing, yay, woo, and uh, and then this clarity of sales, this high royalties. It helps. So
Yeah,
having said that, there are a few more things. Am I speaking too much?
no, no. So the next thing that I was going to ask you is if you could shed some light on self-publishing, because people incorrectly believe that self-publishing is basically paying somebody to get your book out, but that's not what it is. That is vanity
Yeah,
publishing. Self-publishing is a little different.
correct. So see, again, in see, the difference between self-publishing and traditional publishing, number one is time. If you have a lot of time, you think, this is the only book I have written, and I'm going to wait for the right person, the right publisher, the right time, then go for traditional publishing, because it's a loop. It takes time. You have to get accepted. You may have to go through a lot of rejections, and then you finally hit one, and then they ask you to make changes. Then the question becomes, the writer, do you want to make those changes or not? So when it comes to poems, I wouldn't want to do that. Maybe as a novel, because I have never written one novel. I mean, I have written, but I've never published a novel. I might consider that. So that's point number one. Number two, in self-publishing, you can choose to do all the work yourself, the editing, typesetting, and everything, the cover design. You can hire your own cover designer, somebody you really, what do you say, sync with, so that your ideas, they can make into a nice cover. But in traditional publishing, they will usually have an in-house cover designer, in-house editor, and you have to work with them only. In self-publishing, you can outsource them by your own choice, or you can do it yourself. Like the third book, this cover, I designed myself because I just wanted this design. And I know it was so difficult to make somebody understand what is in my head. So I'm like, no, I'm going to design it myself. So this one, I did design myself. So these are some things that's involved in self-publishing versus traditional publishing.
Okay. And if you had to do it all over again, do you think you would do the same things? Or have you learned more things to ensure that maybe the book gets a better launch, maybe you can reach more people? Like, honestly, I wish my debut novel wasn't my debut novel. Very honestly.
Okay, so if I had, okay, there are two, three things that I want to talk about here. If I had known that my book, The Art of Letting Go, is going to sell so well, I would have done probably better. But I think then it would not have sold so many copies that it's now, right? When I wrote the title, I knew I didn't want any other title. This is the title I wanted, but I knew it was something that people would not accept, because usually titles are 3 words or 2 words, and it has already 4 words. I didn't know. I mean, and people were making fun of me when the book was just recently out there. People making fun of the title a lot, but it worked. It worked, and then now in hindsight, I don't want to change anything, because at that moment, that was what I wanted.
Yeah.
Having said that, what I would like to change in my literary journey is I have been part of a lot of anthologies, more than 10. Maybe, and those were the times before my MBA when I had the time to put effort in my stories. I maybe could have released my own book of short stories, or maybe I could have released a novel. But what I did was I gave some part of me to different books. Some did very well in the market, some did not. So in hindsight, that did make me who I am, but maybe I could do that differently and have something more on my own name rather than having bits and pieces in different books.
I just realized that you and I must be part of that same anthology, right? Curtain Call.
Yes,
Yes.
we are. Why? How do you just realize it? I mean, we are, and you know the experience.
I do. It wasn't very pleasant because I used to get email blasts and angry emails every day telling me to promote the damn book.
Yes, exactly. That was what I was trying to tell about traditional publishing versus self-publishing. Because when you're a new author, the onus of promotion is already on you. So why do I take a traditional publisher when I have to do the promotions myself? I might as well self-publish and do the promotions myself my way whenever I am in the energy and I have the time to.
Mm-hmm.
I remember we used to be told, change your DP, do this, you have to put this only in, as a DP. You don't want to do all these things. Most people do not. So, so promotions is another thing because if you're a new author, you are not Ashwin Sanghi or somebody
Yeah.
at this moment. So then you have to do your promotions yourself. Might as well have full autonomy when this is not your sole source of income. You know?
Absolutely. Now we are just going to I'm going to ask you questions because honestly this is very unscripted.
It is.
Tell me, who are the authors? These are very common questions that we keep asking people, whoever the authors who have turned up on Buzz Talks. We always ask them is who are the authors who inspired you to write?
What are the authors who inspired me to write?
Or maybe the authors that you just like reading. It's not necessary. Like, one of the reasons I read a lot of young adult is because I write a lot of young adult, and then recently I started writing children's stories because I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm like a big fan of Sylvia Plath. It sounds a little dark, but I have always loved her so much. And I don't know. I mean, did they inspire me to write? May or may not be true, but she has been, her works have, given me validation of some sort. Elizabeth Gilbert is somebody I think whom I look up to in that way, that, she has written something and, she has been honest about her work and, it worked out great for her. So maybe I can also be honest about my work and, it's gonna go there. And somewhere I see a lot of relations. Sorry. I mean, okay, whatever. So Elizabeth Gilbert is somebody who, who's there. I look up to her. Other than that, I have this weird fantasy of being somebody like Richard Bach. So Richard Bach he lives in an island in the US and, he lives a aloof life. He's not on social media or anything and, he doesn't give many interviews, but somewhere I feel that connection with him. So I wouldn't say that I have the same writing style as they have or they have inspired my writing, but they have been important in putting the flame in me to write.
And this is a very difficult question to ask somebody who reads, who writes. What are you currently reading?
Okay, so I'm currently reading Sigmund Freud's interpretation of dream. Just started. I'm also reading, because I read multiple books at a time, I'm also reading Shobha De's Turning 70 and To Hell With It, because it's like some research work for my novel. So I was in my novel, I'm trying to figure out things about aging, how the society takes it and how we should or we take it, or how we can make our life better. So this book is for my research purpose.
That's so cool, dude.
Let's hope. How I don't know. I'm midway and I'm kind of lost in the plot now, and I haven't sat down to write. So
we met through a blogging competition, if I'm not wrong. So I'm curious that we were bloggers at one point of time in our lives, and then the whole writing thing happened. Actually, I was a author before I started blogging, so my journey has been very all over the place. But what happened to your blog?
Lost. into the sands of time. So yeah, I mean, we started blogging, and the blog was doing so good. It was on India's top blogs for like consecutive years. And then MBA happened, and I think during that phase, I just wrote 2, 3 blog posts, maximum four, 5. And after those 2 years, I actually thought to myself that I'm not gonna write, and I actually had this little phase that I thought I would never write, and I shut my blog and everything. And then it's a sad thing. Actually, a friend of mine died, and that's when I realized that to come out of that grief, writing was the only thing that helped me. And then I wrote a few poems, and I titled the book "The Art of Grieving."
I was about to ask.
Then the journey changed from blogging to this 3 books of poetry, which now I have as a collection and as a process to come out of grief. And now I would call Instagram my blog, because I mostly give personal updates there, short and suiting to the short attention span for people who don't want to read long paragraphs.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to follow her, all the links will be down in the description below.
Almost
both
everybody.
the podcast and YouTube, because they let you do that on podcast descriptions as well.
Okay.
And finally, what do we expect from you next? When is the book coming, Sanhita? When is the book coming?
So I don't know. I have this. I want to finish writing this novel before I turn 30. I'm turning 30 on 9th of May, 2021. So I want to finish writing it before that, and then maybe 1 year of finding a publisher and doing all the other technical work.
Yep.
Having said that, I may or may not release something in the month of February. I probably may. I don't know. It's a small ebook idea that I have. Sorry?
What is this intrigue? Building intrigue.
It's a small ebook idea I have for 14th of Feb, but the time is very short. We hardly have 1 month, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to pull it off. But if I'm able to pull it off, I will. And other than that, the next thing in print should be my novel. That's by God's grace.
I like how Felix and Meow at that point. Yes, Felix, she will let you know once her book is out.
Felix agrees. Felix is saying all the best. I like it.
This has been fun. Thank you so much for joining me on Buzz Talks. That was great, because I basically split and 1 hour interview into 2 parts.
It was really nice talking to you. We had such heart-to-heart conversation. I'm like, loved it.
Thank you.
Chalo, see you soon.